game. I have nothing else up. I can't see my chat. I can't see anything else, so I'm just going to have to hope we're getting back in live here. We're going to be hopping in. I'm loading in. I got your video here. Here we are. We are in the game. We're back. Hi, everyone. Hello. Apologies on the technical difficulties.
Oh, you're still on my camera, by the way, I think.
Oh, yes, I am. It did not want to switch. Let's go to in-game XSplit. Yay. There we go. We're back in the game. Let me quickly get that fired up. We got our exec... Okay, so what did we miss here, Gods? You were trying to keep best tabs here. It looks like one kill to the side of Empire. I believe that was on Mag in the bottom lane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. A Earthshaker rotation, then the one kill. There's been a few attempted kills on mid. Earthshaker's been moving around quite often, and they've been trying to find mostly pressure onto the Shadow Fiend, but so far it's been to no avail. Shadow Fiend is the top farmer. He's now moved on to the jungle, and they've given the mid lane to Solo. So Solo's done a great job protecting mid. He's been kind of the bouncer in the mid lane to prevent that Earthshaker rotation from getting any kills to help out Windranger.
All right, let's touch with this off lane a bit here for Resolution, sitting at about the middle of this net worth now. 39 last hits, however, looking pretty sharp. Compared over to the other side, and for Little Mag on his rather Tusk, he's 17-0. So Resolution obviously still able to get a bit more with the help of those Iron Shells. He's fording level 6 now. Does go with the early value point into the wall. Holds off on the vacuum. But on the other side, you have this 9-pash axe here. And I'm sure he's putting a lot of emphasis on getting a hold of this Blink Dagger, Gods. This axe with Blink could be a game changer here for Vega. It's certainly if they want to kind of assert themselves in the mid lane.
Not seeing him go greedy, go for any kind of a Vanguard first, which I think is the right approach, where he needs to get that Blink as soon as possible and find some early kills. He's got a good amount of synergy with Shadow Fiend, so if he goes towards mid and you hit a double raise with Shadow Fiend, that's going to set up a Culling Blade and you'll find early quick kills. So I like that he is going to rush the Blink Dagger, and I think as soon as he gets it, he'll head off towards mid or the off lane and leave the Disruptor maybe solo in the top lane. But with that said, Seema as the support Disruptor, already level 6, and some has Arcane Boots, so they've kind of split the wealth here. Disruptor has 24 last hits. I don't know where he's finding farm, but that's for 9 minutes, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, maybe he's just opted to not do the typical support thing we're used to seeing, going in the jungle, building up stacks, and just funneling all that extra gold to...
Bottom lane, here they come. They don't even wait for the blink. They just double TP down here, smoke up, and they're looking for that kill on PA. It's going to become... It's already been pinged out. No one is top. Aloha Dance is like, what's going on?
They're leading with a nice glimpse. There's going to be Kinetic Field, Static Storm, everything invested for it. And, well, uppercut into the dunk. That's a perfect alley-oop executed right there from Team Vega. Can they get something as a retort here? Solo not going to get latched with a shackle here. Jotum and Yoki will pull off. So Vega do execute, and they're going to get rewarded for it, and now 9-pash is going to be that much closer to his prized Blink Dagger.
Well, that's why they bring in the axe, to make sure that Grave does not save the PA. If it's just Disruptor, you can get him down low, but the Grave can potentially save him, outlast the Silence, and then you get the Blink Strike escape. So I like that little bit of play from Vega to make sure they secure a key kill here. And the key thing is, Pasha is not a late game carry, as we've kind of talked about. This does limit their late game options, so he's going to make sure his team have that good early game start.
Bottom lane, Silent commits in, gets some good damage on the Mag, but he will be glimpsed back for his troubles. Jotum still wants to dance, dishes out a Poison Touch, gets caught up in a Kinetic Field, and it creates the space for Mag to safely TP back home, and he will be healed up right now. So good for him. No one actually takes up residence in the top lane here, Gods, to continue his farm.
Towards mid, though, Empire looking for a smoke gank.
Solo, who is here, Solo, is going to potentially run into trouble. There's going to be a nice setup. Fissure, Vacuum, Resolution, gets assistance from Yoku, and they're going to get the kill. Solo goes down, and Empire pull ahead now 2-1.
Pasha's completed his Blink Dagger. He TP'd in there. Didn't think he was spotted necessarily. Maybe he was by this high ground ward coming out from the Radiant, but either way, it's something that Empire would be expecting around now, since it is 11 minutes in and he was a safe lane axe.
He did succeed in that gank bottom lane, so they have to know. He's got to be hiding somewhere with that dagger, not showing himself in lane. It's time for Empire to get that buddy-buddy system. But even knowing they're not going to be safe under the Dazzle can be a bit unnerving. But they still move a lot towards the bottom part of this map here. And Vega, again, another smoke. They're just burning right through these bad boys. And they are heading to bottom. They want a lot at the start of this. Right when they go to the mid game, they want to get some fresh blood on this Axis Blink Dagger, and it looks like they could get it here, Gods. They are creeping in. 9-pash, waiting for the opportunity. They're getting very close, but Empire are sneaking out the back door of their woods.
Yeah. And they went for the ward behind the tower as opposed to putting it in the jungle. I think this ward behind the tier 1 bottom helps secure the tier 1 tower, but it doesn't help find you kills and any follow-up play in the enemy jungle. So I almost prefer to see this planet in the Radiant jungle, because this is going to be an uncontested tower regardless. That ward is going to quickly become somewhat unnecessary for Vega. So they get a tier 1 tower. They want to take over the Radiant jungle, which is where vision can become important. But similarly, on the Empire side, they're smoked up and looking to head towards the off lane, the Dire jungle, and try to find a kill of their own.
Now, there was a Vega ward scouting out that rune that was picked up under the smoke. I don't know if they were paying attention at the time and could have seen that possibly Empire are hiding in the
Vega
shadows.
smoke again.
But they have pulled out somehow even more of the purple stuff. And they are going to continue to move. Jottam. Oh, they actually don't know he's there. They get a brief glimpse, but they're not going to get anything but hit by a big weave. And now Vega are going to have to just reposition and use this. Hey, we're all here. Let's go ahead and take this tier 1.
They are smoked out, though. They've completely depleted their smoke resources. On the Radiant side, you've got at least one on the Earthshaker, and it looks like that might be that is their last. So both teams really committing heavily to the kind of mid-game smokes, or at least like 10 to 12 minutes in. This is when you've got most of your early game core items, your levels. They want to fight.
And they also got to pull back onto Resolution here. Nice net catch from Solo is going to prevent Resolution from making it away with a TP. And eventually, here comes 9patch with a huge dunk. Resolution will go down, and the score will even up 2-2. It looked like Empire was going to be able to possibly take down this tier 1 with that focus fire, but eventually Vega do swoop in, and they get their pick.
Yeah, no one on Shadowfiend is getting very farmed now. He's a full 2,000 net worth ahead of the Phantom Assassin. Definitely something you'd expect, like a difference between the farm of Shadowfiend and PA, especially early on. PA, not a flash farmer, can't farm jungle stacks, and Shadowfiend just, by nature, just going to outfarm most carries and mids in the game, apart from maybe like the old Lestrak or Lina, who could power farm as well.
Cheeky little Aloha dance gets the fissure off before the last hit of the tower. It's like one of those nice things you can do as support. You know you can't do anything about it. You're not going to stop him from taking the tower. But maybe you can get off that long-range stun so they can't get the last hit. Yeah. Bottom lane, snowball in. They want to go for Silent here. And he's going to be able to blink. Nice juke right here. He's going to break their ankles, but the glimpse says, you're not going anywhere. Pulls him right back. And Silent thinks he can stand and plant here. There's not many options left, but a jump TP, and he is not going to make it away. Solo rains on his parade with the song. And no one shows up in time just for the assist.
It was. I'm watching Silent. I'm like, okay. He's definitely stayed too long. The TPs were the tier 2 tower first, so they had plenty of disable lockdown. The Tusk goes in, I'm like, he's going to wait till every stun is used before he can TP. And he did just that. The only thing that was left was the song. They'd used Walrus Punch, Snowball, Glimpse, Ensnare. They'd used all 4 of their stuns, and all that was left was song. so they had to resort to it. But it was a nice play from Silent overall. Like, he knew he couldn't TP until they'd used up every single disable, but there's always that song to fall back on.
And you could just see the emphasis on Vega. We're like, no, we want to use everything just to get this PA down because it means that much. Not only taking her out of the picture and bringing her down a peg, but that means we can move into the Roche here, which they do. But this big, hefty, hard-hitting Shadowfiend no one now is going to be picking up the Aegis. He's only a component away, the recipe, from finishing out his BKB gods. This Shadowfiend is really swole. This is ridiculous. So he's going to be a big problem here. What can Empire do to contain this Shadowfiend? So he's not going to be too much of a problem as we get into the mid-game.
And the current state is very much that they don't have the ability to teamfight into Shadowfiend. He's got an Aegis on top of that. They need to just look for trades. If they see Vega grouping up to push one lane, they need to kind of resort to split pushing another lane. Their mid-game, which looked really strong, just isn't going to be there until they have got a BKB of their own on PA.
Silent steps back here, knows he can't go too far. The glimpse will always be there, and there it is. A pullback onto PA. They're waiting with the raise. There's going to be a big kinetic field. What is zone set up from Seema, but a huge vacuum wall from Resolution comes out, and they're not going to be able to bring anyone down. The mech is going to help him shrug it off, and now Vega look to turn and fight. Look at Silent, though, able to jump in from the back. That's going to take care of the Aegis. Meanwhile, Yoku up in arms with 9patch. He's going to get the one dunk right there, making it a double. And now they look to head out for Yoku, but he's going to retreat under the wind run. Now they turn. Seema's under the gun of Silent. Silent is going to get glimpsed back, so he's not going to be able to reach the little disruptor. Now Snowball coming in with company. They're going for Jotum. Jotum, you're not going to get anywhere. He's going to get the grave off, but he will get dunked off with his head. Now they're looking for Silent. A good block, but he's able to get the leap onto Yoku, and he's out to safety. Empire going for a big re-engagement. Beautiful vacuum wall setup, but the mech allows Vega to turn it around and fight, and they'll pull ahead and come out big gods. 6-2 now.
All kills going the way of the Axe as well. He's really been the key hero for them this game. Very much as a dazzle counter, as well as just the hero to initiate, lock people down in place. And PA does not fight well into an Axe. The spins start coming out. He's got decent armor now with a blade mail picked up. So even outside of the Berserker's Call, PA does not want to fight Axe. That, though, is a big pickup. Taking out Shadow Fiend. That's some value.
And that was a confident run up. Yoku, oh! Gets dunked there at the end. There's the uppercut. Another kill. You may have taken our one Shadow Fiend, but we've already taken 2 lives, including one of your cores, and they're about to take Silent down as well. Again, being very cheeky, tries to sidestep, but boom! He gets dunked one more time. Double from 9 Pash, and they're going to get the grab on the Jotum as well. Make it 3! Triple kill. This Axe pick is putting in some serious work right now for Vega.
He could have graved the PA there, but I'm pretty sure his relying on thinking was like, what's the point? He's just going to get dunked anyway. So it's like, you could force out a bit more mana from the Axe, which I guess would have... He ends up using it anyways on the Dazzle, so it came out regardless. But that is a problem. Empire are going to struggle to play from behind against this super farm Shadow Fiend, the Axe. They did kill the Shadow Fiend to start that fight off, but oh boy, have they lost complete control of this game.
No one now is going to be able to finish out the BKB, something he pretty much had before that pickoff, but did get caught out. Now has that extra defensive measure. But you see that this Axe is just taking the Dazzle out of the game. Really can't offer a whole lot defensively, and it's just Vega making all of these wonderful setups now. And when Empire have to commit onto a single pickoff, they have to expend so much. And once those stuns have already been committed for like that Shadow Fiend pick, there's not going to be a follow-up ready for the retort. And that's when Vega can really just take big advantage.
And with his Scepter, he's getting that kill threshold down to like 550 at level 3. For now, he's just got the level 2 ultimate, so 425. We're still looking at a 700 HP Dazzle. Like these Radiant heroes have not really picked up any items whatsoever to start tanking out. PA will have a BKB, which gives a bit of extra HP, but we're still looking at fairly squishy Radiant side heroes. And no one's sitting at more than maybe 1200 HP, so be very easy to get them down low with the Shadow Fiend. You've got decent right-click damage even. There's physical damage coming from the Axe. Riptide can look to buff up. They've even got a Solar Crest to buff up that physical damage. Vega in a fantastic position.
And they will smoke up now and go on the prowl. Solar Crest, we know, received a significant nerf, more so with its work in the Roche pit. Yeah. But this item's still a big
You've
grab
got Shadow
in the
Fiend,
fight.
though. You Roche just fine with the minus armor from Shadow Fiend combined with the Solar Crest. Like last time, they Roche incredibly quick.
Glimpse back. They're looking to go for Yoku here. Kinetic Field, not going to be able to lock him into place, but the jump call will follow it up with the Ensnare. There's the Requiem, and the little Ginger Archer is going to be going down here. Vega now coming down this mid lane in a commanding position, and you got to remember, this is an elimination match. It's not like Empire can simply shrug this one off and try to just bounce back in game 2. They lose this one, they are out of the tournament.
Yeah. No one does use his BKB there. He wasn't sure who else was around. He's worried about a Darkseer counter initiation, but it's still going to be an easy tier 2 tower for them. No Roshan anytime soon, so I don't see them going higher ground. It looks like they are going to just TP back, farm a bit more, and look to probably wait for the next smoke gank or the next Roshan for them, but very much Vega not in any rush to end this game and very much out-farming Empire by a big margin right now.
So what kind of pressure is on this PA to step it up and try to pull this game back? Has to take the moment to finish out her BKB. But I imagine then even the farm period to build into that next big item. She has to consider her damage now. Yeah. And I don't even think the BKB alone is going to be enough survivability for her to just deal with everything on the other side. If this PA is trying to go out on just a ravage, like, killing spree, Naga has that song to kind of always put the brakes on everything. Mag has kind of the snowball. I just don't see this PA being able to get a lot done.
And the other thing Naga has is the Solar Crest. You put that on whoever PA is trying to focus. That's a lot of bonus armor and evasion. PA does not want to go into MKB as her next item. She may... It's very much a toss-up. Do you go Basher or do you go MKB now? The Basher has a lot more utility, has better... Well, not better damage, but in theory, later on, it builds better into the Abyssal, but you may need the MKB just to deal with that evasion aspect coming out from Vega, especially if you see no one pick up something like an Eagle Song, you'll pick it up. He's actually going to go for an SMY first, but as much as the PA is under pressure, the PA is very much just going to be, it's a single target right clicker who now has a BKB. That's all this hero is. There's nothing, that can't change. There's nothing the PA can do to have a higher impact in a fight. The one thing, to me, that Empire's fight is going to have to be built around is the Blink Dagger on Darkseer, because as much as PA needs more farm, can't really fight well, gets countered by an Axe, there's Ensnare as well, you're stuck with the PA now. So very much decide when and where you want to fight, whether it's contesting Roshan, contesting towers, around the Darkseer initiations, the Wind Ranger who also has a blink. They can make plays happen. They can hit a 3 to 5 hero vacuum wall, followed up with a shackle shot. Earthshaker's got a blink. They've got teamfight tools to come out on top against Vega. It's all going to come down to execution. The PA is not really the hero who needs to execute this game for Empire, because that's PA's just going to blink in, BKB and attack. That's it. But the other 3 heroes, the Blink Initiators, they can make the plays happen.
And don't get me wrong, I support you on that, and I feel like Empire definitely have those tools to pull out a huge fight, but I just feel like they will really need the stars to align, considering what Vega have as a response to all of that. Like, you get a jump in big vacuum wall, and there's just going to be that song waiting. There's a mech to restore everyone and get them back into action. Arcane boots are going to be ready to go, and Axe will be just probably waiting on the side or leading in with that huge big jump, and then I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of go in there. If Silent can be a silent killer and just sneak in the back lines and get away with targeting someone out, then it can go very, very well for Empire, and they can take Vega apart from the inside. But
his ideal scenario is finding the Disruptor, I think, at the back, and just getting a jump on Disruptor, trying to hope for a double crit really quickly for a fast kill, but hard to do so. The other important spell is going to be the Weave, and something I think that has to be used offensively onto Vega to lower their armor, to make them juiced up and killable for the PA. So we'll see how Empire look to use that one. For now, they are actually kind of looking to take control around the Roche area. They know Vega, a 5-manning top, taking the last out of the tower, and Empire using this opportunity to get map control. They've got 3 Observer Wards around the Roshan pit. They are pretty much saying right now, we're going to make our last-ditch hurrah at the Roshan pit. That is it. That is when we're going to fight. And as much as, like, I talked up their Blink Daggers and what they can do with these, and Vega have answers. Not even just like what all you were mentioning, just their items right now. No one is sitting on 1800 HP and Strength Treads. Axe is going to have an Aghanim Scepter, which gets him up to 1800 HP. There's a lot of hit points to go through, and the question's going to come from Empire, where is the damage? PA isn't really there. Wind Ranger doesn't have an is about to have an Ag Scepter. That maybe is when the damage starts coming in, but they've got to get these items first.
So this is the setup. Vega had been plotting out a push on that top lane, builds up all the pressure. Empire are going to have to respond to that top lane at some point.
Vega are ready just to counter all these wards. They've got a gem, though, and that's where I like Empire's move, saying, look, let's get a bunch of vision up while they're top and contest Roshan, but Vega swoop down. They're going to de-ward this entire area as much as possible, and then they're going to say, look, Empire, you guys want to contest Roshan? You're going to have to do so with 0 vision.
Yeah. Empire may be hoping that Vega's like, yes, we got that 1 ward. That's got to be it, right? We're fine. Now we're going to be not caught out. But Empire, like, we dropped 2 additional wards. Maybe they won't find all of them.
And Dire Wards is scouting out very much where Empire are right now. Vega have all the information they need to start moving out. And it looks like Solo's going to do just that. I think he saw a Radiant Ward across the river. I'm not sure. He's got illusions scouting around with gem. That's the beauty of the Naga gem, is that your illusions also get that gem effect, and it looks like they'll take out one more ward. They haven't...
One more left.
Did they see
Empire's last chance to...
Oh, yeah, they saw it. The Axe on the high ground caught vision of it.
But maybe when they go for the ward... Look at this. Empire's already coming in with a smoke. Oh, they were hoping maybe to time it out, that they could set up a fight. Well, they're in that. This Naga's going to, like, slither right through them. I don't know if they noticed he was taking some Ion Shell damage, but they're going to commit anyways. A Vacuum Echo setup. A lot to destroy Solo here, but not nearly enough for no one, who stands strong, pops his BKB, and they just annihilate both Resolution and the Dazzle. There's a follow-up dunk, as they are going to be able to take out Aloha Dance. Now Silent, trying to stand and fight, goes against no one here. No one else ends up going down, but they lose Silent anyways, and they're about to lose Yoku, who's trying to stand and trade. A triple kill for this Axe. Vega take what looked like a very easy fight, and this means they'll go into a very easy Roche grab.
Yeah. I think they do need Shadow. They have no damage until Shadow Fiend respawns.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Empire are
Shadow
in
and
the
Naga.
clear as far as Roshan goes, but it's a clear win. Vega come out on top heavily there. The Axe gets himself a triple kill. He just picked up an Ag Scepter a minute ago, and he's got 2,000 gold on top of that. So even though Vega don't get Roshan, they're not going to be phased at all. For them, that was a very clear victory and puts them... Well, I mean, they've been in the driver's seat for some time. It continues to be Vega in control, and Empire with no vision up on the match. They've got one more smoke. That's the only good news for Empire, and it's not really good news. It's very much like we can actually try and make a play, be it Roshan or trying to go for like just a YOLO smoke gank when they go for a push and try and backstab them. That's their only play remaining right now for Vega. I mean, if they somehow avoid the smoke, or again, like that fight there was SF getting the BKB off before the Blink Echo came in, they'll be just fine. And they've got so many ways to win a fight. Empire, it's like they've just got one. The perfect wombo combo with the Vacuum, Echo, Shackle Shots landing, PA doing huge damage, the Weave hitting offensively, giving everyone's armor down. If all of that doesn't happen, Empire just don't stand a chance. And even if it does, I still feel like they're going to lose 2 or 3 heroes.
They will fight to the bitter end here until they feel like it's obviously this isn't going to work. Tusk getting a solo pick here. It looks like top lane, a setup with a Shadow Blade. Aloha Dance is going to be taken down here. Your side pushing Earthshaker.
And he
but
sees
because
Empire
Mag is
coming
down,
in.
yeah, Empire's en route.
They know Vega know this though. They've got the ward vision there to see this, and Empire just wasting their time. And that gives Vega Roshan. So Vega see Yoku top. They also see Resolution top, and there is no way to get to Roshan in time. There's no tier 2 towers. You'd have to run across the entire map to get to Roshan, and it's going to be the high ground defense of Empire, which is where they make their last stand.
What do they have to offer? They'll have a Blink Echo, and then a Vacuum Wall, which, don't get me wrong, is some of the best tools you could ask for in a high ground defense. And they're frantically trying to get him leveled up into their biggest, most possible output of damage that they can ask for here. Resolution even trying to set up a BKB just so he can get off the best setup as possible.
And we talked about how Axe limits the damage output of Vega late game. For one thing, it's been a great counter dazzle, but they're going to instead go for a different style of Tusk build because of this. Tusk has gone for a Deso Shadow Blade, and I think this is largely to make up for the fact that their safe lane farmer is purely a kind of an initiator and team fighter. I mean, Axe does good damage. The Culling Blade is like a 500 damage nuke in some ways as far as finishing heroes off, but I like that Tusk is making up for not having a true carry by going for some DPS.
Kind of almost reads to me as well that they're just in that good of a spot and position that they could comfortably get this Tusk.
Anytime you can go Shadow Blade Deso on Tusk instead of going for like a Blink Dagger, Glimmer Cape, Arcane Boots mech type build, you're far ahead. There's very few situations where a Tusk will get Shadow Blade Deso and you're playing from behind. It's just not a build you go for when you're behind.
We got a gathering here from Empire, almost as if they're thinking of pulling out a smoke, which they do have one currently on hand here for Aloha Dance, but the last time they did venture out, trying to make a setup near that Roche, it did not work out too well. So I don't know how much they're banking on the idea of maybe moving out and going for another smoke move. It ain't going to come easy, though.
Strategically, it's very much, if you smoke up now, best case scenario is you find like one high priority kill, but with an Aegis on the Vega side, I think they want to save the smoke for the high ground defense so Earthshaker can smoke himself up to get a better Blink Echo, or save it for after the Aegis expires. The problem is Vega definitely going to push now, so they'll look to use the smoke for the high ground defense to try to get a good angle to initiate from. Like,
Gotta
try
be
and get
something obvious
Earthshaker from
Vega
behind.
are going to anticipate here, so you
They-
know, look for Seema, look for Solo. They're going to be both waiting in the back with a song ready to go, with that Glimpse, with that Static Storm, all of their crowd control ready. And not going to be interrupted.
Darkseer and Shaker have 2 heroes smoked up. These are the 2 core heroes that you do want to smoke.
Now, no one is happy to siege out in front with that Aegis here, but Empire will poke as much damage as possible at him. They're hoping that if they can quickly snipe that first life of the Aegis, that would be great, but they're not going to get that chance. They will heal up. This tier 3 down to already like a quarter of its life.
That's the key way to play this high ground defense is if it's only SF in the front lines chipping at your tower, don't hard commit. You just softly commit and whittle
batter
away.
him up a little bit. Just batter him a little bit. Give him a dead arm or something. Just
Like,
poke at
don't
him.
commit a BKB from PA. Don't commit any of your... I mean, you haven't really got key long cooldown ultimates. Like, don't use a vacuum. A vacuum is probably the big spell not to use for his Aegis.
An occasional fissure, yeah. But now they're going to lose their tier 3. Silent jabs at him a bit. Doesn't want to overcommit. Resolution thinks he sees an opportunity, but doesn't have it. It's a vacuum wall that's going to miss. Now they engage on the forefront of the wall. No one standing and planning here, but is going to be able to turn and run here under the invis.
Well, they got Tusk.
They do get the one Tusk down. Empire hasn't lost anyone. They reposition. Minor glimpse is going to put Silent back into his base. And Vega will step off for now, not having mag. Empire are able to defend, even with not the most ideal vacuum wall setup. It's just enough to hold off the pressure.
Yeah, that was just enough. It feels like Vega aren't going to be... I don't feel like that was a win by any means for Empire. They can look to wait out the Aegis as a result because it's only got about a minute left on it. Vega, though, is still really far ahead with how farmed Shadow Fiend is. It's just kind of scary when you look at this PA. They're probably thinking, like, PA's getting there. If PA can farm an Abyssal plus MKB, I want to say, as the next item, we're looking at an Empire team who has a shot. They can still win this game on the back of Silence PA. It's level 16, so maxed out coup de grace. And that's potential for Empire to win these fights.
That dagger is going to end up hitting a lot. And a dagger could be like the new high ground defensive tool.
Yeah.
You know, just imagine like keep throwing daggers out from the base. They'll eventually crit. They'll eventually do a hard bash with a future Abyssal Blade. Vega are going to be like, I don't want to sit here and eat daggers all day, but they're not going to be able to get into the base properly. Who really knows, right? I mean, it's been quite a while since we've been able to see a PA at that true critical mass point being able to take a game back, but it looks like Empire believe it's something that could still be feasible to him.
Pasha is going to have a Shivers guard soon, so Armors against the PA is the name of the game, and Shivers will slow the attack speed as well, so benefits the whole team. AC was the other kind of possibility here, which probably even comes next. It's not just the PA, it's also the Dazzle, so the aggressive weaves coming out from Dazzle have been, I think, a big reason why Vega have struggled there to push the high ground because of the minus armor on themselves, so as a result, they are going to build Shivers and probably an AC somewhere on their side.
Empire have done it, though. They were able to hold off Vega to the point where the Aegis has now expired here. And you're looking at no one with an MKB.
Yep.
So,
I mean, to go back to like the draft, it felt like Empire should have had a stronger mid game. Vega just used the axe too well. But as kind of mentioned, the late game looks good for Empire. They've got the better team fighters in Earthshaker and Darkseer. They've got 2 good late game carries in PA and Windrange. As much as Tusk is building this DPS build, he's not a late game carry. He's maybe got the potential to burst down and try solo kill someone like a Dazzle if he can get on Dazzle with a Snowball, Walrus Punch combo. But he's not going to ever be able to fight heroes like Windrange or like PA. PA because of evasion. Well, both of them have evasion, and he's not going to be able to go for like an MKB next. He needs probably survivability of some kind, maybe even some evasion of his own. Something like a Halberd could be quite good as the next item for Tusk, but the late game very much looks good for Empire if they can get there.
Mag is stalking Aloha Dance here. Resolution is nearby. Can Mag move in and out fast enough? Well, Shadowblade will expire, and quick snowball to avoid the Shackle Yoki, drawing him away and towards his team. Fizz are going to be off the mark, but a vacuum will catch him. Mag, though, on the run. Still has one more second, then Shadowblade will be there. Opportunity for Empire to get a pick is just not going to work out for him. Night Pass shows up, but Empire already out the door.
Should have been a pick.
But yeah,
blunder on their Earthshaker, missing the fissure. They fissure, easy kill. And then they can also get out. Axe was not going to get there in time to save him, so I think they were a little bit hesitant because they don't have great vision. They don't know how many heroes are coming or nearby, so if they commit fully to kill the Tusk there, it could backfire if Axe comes in with a call, but he was far enough away they could have got the kill, and I think it was very much just like Earthshaker felt really pressured to hit like a perfect fissure and quickly get the kill and get out. Once he missed the fissure, I was like, screw it, we're out. This is bad. So Vega still struggling to find ways to close out this game despite their lead.
Yeah, it's definitely not feeling as comfortable as it used to be there for Vega, and that's when you fear about maybe the axe falling off a bit. He makes a committed jump mid lane where Aloha Dance will be able to slide himself out from trouble. But it doesn't feel as dominant as it once was here. And you can't help but feel like this PA is just going to turn into a problem here. I put a lot into the Shadow Fiend for the late game potential of Vega, but I don't know if I would feel confident if this PA and Shadow Fiend end up going toe-to-toe. And they both got to that 6-slotted point.
Well, SF has picked up the Talisman of Evasion, which I think once PA sees, PA will make the decision to go MKB before anything else. You'd expect Vega to be able to secure the next Aegis, probably without a fight, unless Empire decide to make the ballsy call to go for that smoke play or just jump on the Roche pit. But assuming Vega can get the next Aegis, for Empire, it's like our high ground defense needs the damage output of PA to deal with the Talisman on SF. Naga's building a Heaven's Halberd, so there'll be Solar Crest, there'll be Heaven's Halberd, there'll be a Butterfly coming. There's so much evasion flying around that PA has to get an MKB at this point.
Mag will also now pick up a Blink Dagger here for his Tusk. So if they were hoping for another setup like they had previously, he's going to be even more elusive than that. So this Tusk could look for a big setup in with a Walrus Punch and still have a Shadow Blade to kind of creep out from. Opens up a lot more initiation options here for Vega, aside from just the Shadow Blade. So we'll have to see if they're going to be able to utilize it here. But is it just at that point, God, where Vega needed to just simply wait it out, get another Aegis? The benefit of having that extra life might be able to, you know, give them the confidence to have another push at the Empire side, or do they risk waiting this out a bit too long, and Empire just can continue to scrap together their own farm? And now look at this. It's Empire who feel confident enough to take a fight. They smoke and go out. They're heading right towards the Roche pit.
Yeah. They don't know quite when it's respawning. I think for Vega, very much they want to use their smoke to try find a pick-off before going for Roche, and then try and take Roshan and then go for the high ground objective. But fight is brewing. Mag.
Oh, they pop the dust, but Mag uses that new blink.
And also the weave on... The weave is an important cooldown. It's quite short, but using it only on Tusk, I don't think is good enough for Empire. So they want to back off, reposition on the high ground around Roshan, and wait till they can figure out what's going on before they try and make any plays here.
This is that classic standoff, though, from both sides. You stay on your side of the river, we'll take the Roche from here. You don't even come close, boy.
The one play Vega can make is they've got to smoke if they want to go for that wrap around and try and get into the Radiant jungle going through the bottom lane and catch Empire by surprise. But I think they'd rather take the safe approach, which is just play out this stalemate. Force Empire to do something, like to defend their lanes, to make a move. Empire have to, like, they're going to constantly use this weave to scout out the Roshan pit and try and just chip away at Roshan. It's not even back yet. We're talking about it as if both teams are trying to take it right now before the other does, but both teams just know it's coming up soon and will be a big priority.
Yeah, Seema tries to push out the bottom lane just with that Thunder Strike a bit. And look at this. Now Vega will smoke. They know Empire have been waiting on that other side. They have this ward here, and they're going to look for a setup right now. John is going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's an easy Walrus Punch, and Mag is going to finish him off. So now Dazzle out of the picture here. Empire. Do they just withdraw or not? Oh, Yoki going to get caught out. They do a dust, which they will see, but a big Static Storm is going to force out the BKB of Yoku. No one waiting, stuck in the trees here. The song will expire. Resolution, though, happy to shrug it off, and they're committing on to no one here between Silent and Resolution. They might be able to pincer down the Shadow Fiend. A vacuum draws him back, and he's still able to stand. Now Mag comes in with 9 Pash. They're going to get the first swing, and it's going to kill Aloha Dance, and the follow-up is going to finish Silent. Resolution barely able to skate the way, will end up going down. 4 drop all day from the side of Empire. Vega come out victorious once again. And though they lose their Shadow Fiend here, they are still in a commanding spot, and it looks like they're going to use this to go down bottom.
Yeah. Very just weird fight. Just the positioning of it in that tree area. SF Requiem was entirely wasted. It was 2 BKB heroes, Darkseer as well as the PA, and both Darkseer and PA were then like, let's kill this Shadow Fiend. It was very much like overcommitting to kill a Shadow Fiend, and Axe just cleaning up once again. We've seen it time and time again. 9 Pasha just wreaks havoc in these fights because he gets ignored. He's so tanky, and he doesn't dish out as much damage as the Shadow Fiend, but as a result, he's getting all the kills for his team, and Empire just don't have the sustain or the damage once they lose the PA there towards the end.
You can see his tankiness and just even that evasion come into play right there. It seemed like it took them so much work to bring down that Shadow Fiend. They got held there so long that the rest of Vega were able to clean out the business they were taking care of, and they just turned in right at the conclusion of Shadow Fiend's life and cleaned everything else up.
Yeah, the Talisman pays off there, and also SF having an MKB, always an item you have to buy against a PA, so that's kind of the other big thing there is SF, they're both BKB fighting each other. SF's going to do more damage than the PA does. SF just didn't have the backup of his team because his team were off fighting the Axe, the Tusk, the Disruptor, and just getting slept up by those heroes. It was very much Vega had the better crowd control and just made it so that SF was completely isolated, but it didn't really matter because of how much damage he dished out during that time.
So now with this Roche back, yet to be taken by either team, Vega, after that fight, had lost no one, so they were not comfortable moving back into the Roche pit. They wanted to see how much they can do just pushing through that bottom lane. But now they're all back, and so is all of Empire. So they're still not in a too comfortable spot to kind of move in and get the Roche done themselves. They might have to wait for another pick or something. Mid lane, Silent, limps back. Ice shards are out. No one swoops in here. He's going to get hit with a shackle, but Nine Pash is there to catch him with the call. And now Yoku eats so much damage, will end up going down. Song comes out. BKB already up on Resolution. Silent, though, doesn't get his off, so he'll have to stand there and kind of take the Song. Now commits in. They already finish off Resolution. And Silent, one of the lone survivors here, is just going to have to put the team on his back, but there's just too much around him, and he will end up going down. Triple kill for Nine Pash. A huge fight. The third big one for Vega. And now they come commanding down this mid lane, going into high ground here. It already forces out the buyback from Resolution and from the Dazzle. Silent, probably going to have to use his as well if they want to try to defend.
I don't know about you, Jaco, but I missed Axe. This hero was picked all the time during the AC. I'm glad to see him some more. This has been quite the performance from Nine Pasha.
15-0? He hasn't died yet. I didn't even know that.
It's been incredible. I mean, the entire Vega team has played well together. You look at, like, Mag, he's been in 20 of the kills as well. Disruptor, Seema's 2-1 and 18, so he's not getting... I mean, Disruptor's never going to get a kill when you've got an Axe in your team who's finishing everyone off, but this has very much been the Pasha show from the Axe. It's been a lot of fun. Not over yet, but...
Yeah, but it's like performances like this from this Axe right now that I would not be surprised if Axe becomes the hot commodity for the drafts to come. Had this been a best of 3, Axe could have very well been banned in the next setup. But it is a best of 1. Vega just need this to kind of move on forward here. We'll have to see.
They're too late to contest Roshan. It's already down, and Empire will, as soon as they see they can't get in there, will back all the way right back to the high ground. They want to defend high ground as their last little stance if they're not going to be able to get the Roshan. And as far as ways they can win a fight, it's going to come largely from the Blink initiators, but I think also PA has to finish that MKB, which is still 1,500 gold away. And I don't know where he finds that money. He's got the Courier at the side shop, buys the Demon Edge now. Didn't have to buy back, and he's not going to... There's no point saving buyback. It's very much like if you don't have an MKB, you've lost the game. You're not... Even if you can somehow push them back and defend the lane of Rax by buying back, at that point, you've got no money. Your economy's been hit too hard, and Vega are going to just win the late game. So you've got to get those late game items if you want to stand a chance on the side of Empire. And Silence just farming desperately to try and get that last little bit of cash.
But who do you focus here? I mean, she's trying to farm it together. But if something breaks out, is it we got to get the Shadow Fiend out because he's just too big and powerful? Do you put focus on the Axe, even though he's a beast? But maybe that bounty, if you're able to take that bounty, it could be enough of a charge to get you back in the game.
I think Axe is still just a hero you've got to ignore. Shadow Fiend's an okay... He's going to be in the front lines with the Aegis. So if you can take his Aegis life without too much of a commitment...
Oh my goodness, look at this play. They're looking to sweep in from behind here. This is the all-nothing, but Solo's already moved off to this side, and he gets a beautiful song up. Oh, they're all put together here.
A moment of silence.
No one walks in. Here it comes. Boom! Oh my, right in the middle. Resolution's going to be able to get off a vacuum wall combo here as they pop their BKBs. Yoku, desperate, tries to hide in a closet to make it a bit of an escape here, but it looks like it's not going to matter. The dunk starts coming out. The 9-pass show goes into its second act, and they're going to clean out everyone else, and that's going to be game, gods. Vega have beat Empire 1-0 and will advance on forward in the lower bracket. Empire, their Nanyang journey will conclude.
I liked the way we ended that game with that 5 heroes sleep, and you're just like, oh god, they're screwed. Empire, like if I'm Empire, I would have GG'd out the second they got slept there. I would have been like, let's pause the game and just GG because they had no answer to the sleep. They can BKB, I get on the Dark Seer, so he can at least get off some spells there, but Vega, I think a team who, I was a little surprised by how hardly they got beat down by 5 Youngs in the winner bracket. I think they're one of the kind of top teams in this qualifier out of the 8. I think they're at least in the top 3, so I expect them to make a good run through the lower bracket. This is just the start of it, Team Empire. They'll be playing again in a couple of days, but definitely a team who I can see going deep in the lower bracket.
Oh, absolutely. So with that, Vega will move on forward here, and that will conclude our first series today. But we're not going to be done yet. There will be a small break here. It looks like about 45 minutes or so, and then we'll be able to come back with a new matchup. It's going to be a best of 3. Ninjas in pajamas are going to go against the 5 youngs, 5 jungs, 5 boys. What do we want to call them? They're going to be going toe-to-toe. Should be a good one. I'm going to go ahead and get everything technically set up here. Apologies again about the early start and the technical flubs, but looks like everything has been resolved for now. So I'm Carl Guy for Beyond the Summit, joined by Gods. We'll be back with more Nanyang Championship action soon. See you in 40 minutes.